currently going through a phase 1 in a $5,000 PropFirm account, and last 2 weeks I was this close to passing that account. This is the reality of trading a 5K PropFirm account. Last 2 weeks I was up $299, and I had only $100 left for me to pass the account, but a lot happened. And this was what happened after I closed that week with $299. The week that came after that, I was targeting $100 because that was what left. So I got this trade on BTC USD. I got this nice setup on BTC USD. This trade would have been this trade was a 1:6 plus, so I would have made $100+ in this and passed the phase 1. But this trade missed my entry. It didn't pull back to my entry. Now after I missed this BTC USD trade, I got that eager to pass that PropFirm last week. Because $100, come on, I've been trading this account for past 3 weeks, and $100 will be the reason why I won't pass this week. But after that BTC miss, all the trade I took lost back to back. All the trades were lost. Starting for USD CHF, run 1:2, it reversed. USD CAD 1:2, it's reversed. Euro USD, all of them 1:2, and all of it reversed on me because of some fundamentals that came up last week. Like a joke, I kept losing trade back to back till this account was down $77, something that was $299. It came down to 77. I mean, that's alone. I mean, seeing a 3 weeks hard work go down like that because of one target, I mean, that alone would have made a lot of people over risk and be like, do you know what, if I perish, I perish. Just over leverage everything. But nah, that wasn't me. I maintained my risk management. Just that I went against my rule because I took too many trades. I took more than 6 trades a week. Nowadays I only take 3 trades per week. Nice setups, I don't take every set. But because of, I don't know what pushed me, I took an unprofessional decision. But alhamdulillah, this week I was able to bring the account back again to 177. I made $100 plus this week. So before you show PropFirm, let me just tell you the things you will face, the reality that will hit you harder than truck that you will face when you're trading a PropFirm. And I wish every social media guru will start preaching this to their followers about PropFirm. And number one thing is, when you're trading a PropFirm, you know, when you are on a live account, when you are on a demo PropFirm account, that's when you understand that this requires more than strategy to handle. Even when you're on a live account, even when you finally get funded, it requires more than strategy, because this requires patience. And the kind of patience I mean is not that kind of patience that you wait for your market to come to your setup. No, that's not the kind of patience I'm going to explain to you now. It requires you to be mentally and physically ready. You understand in a little way. It requires you to know that risk management is like, it's a boundary that you should never cross. Risk management, do not risk more than 1% of your accounts. Now when I say patient, this kind of patient I mean not the kind of patient of waiting for your setup to come. Yeah, that's kind of patient also work, but that's what a lot of people talk on YouTube, but that's not the only patient you need. When you're trading a PropFirm, you should understand that trading a PropFirm is very, very drilling, and it will burn you out. It will burn your fingers out. So especially when you are stuck in phase 1 for like 3 months, going to 4 months, you are stuck in phase 1, and maybe that first 3 months you are battling with drawn down. You understand? You see yourself battling with drawn down the first 3 months. So you have to be patient. Even if you blow the account, you will patiently take in don't rush everything. Don't try to pass it overnight, because here's why I say you should mentally be ready for this. Because when you come online, you see all these gurus that do adverts for different PropFirm companies. They will be like, they pass the PropFirm phase 1, phase 2 in 2 days, in 1 week, using this magic strategy, this and that. And that will start making you questioning yourself. You'll be like, am I even trading the right way? Am I even doing the right thing? Is there any secret that these people have that they don't want to share with us? Like, you start having that mentality, that thought of, will I ever make it in Forex? Will I ever even get funded? Why not just do this, if I perish, I perish thing? And when you start having this kind of thoughts, you don't know how to control it. You will see yourself over leveraging, trading aggressively. Because yeah, why would somebody be passing something that you'll be going through for the past 3 months, and not just that you're going through drawdown. Someone passed it under 1 week. Why can't I? Let me just, maybe that person is over risking. Nah, let me tell you something that some of these people do is that they buy like 2 or 4 different accounts. Yes, when they buy it, they will trading it aggressively. They have the money, not like you and I. They have the money, so they will be trading it aggressively. Maybe the first one that they bought, they will blow it at phase 1. If the second one goes well for them, that is the one they will post for you. And if they even blow that one on the second attempt, or that is phase 2, they won't post that one. They will wait for another one. When they pass the phase 1, they pass the phase 2, that's the one they will post. So these people buy multiple accounts because they are content creators. I mean, not just they are looking for customers. And your customer, you won't be telling your customer that your growth is not good. They have to. You get the point. So if you want to follow any forex guru that is talking about PropFirm, follow this kind of people that always do day in the life of a forex trader, that always have this title showing you reality on how they are struggling to pass the PropFirm. Those are the honest ones. Those ones are like just like people like me. We don't get shit to buy a PropFirm more than 3 times. Understand? So we trade it gingerly. Understand? So when you are trading a PropFirm, be patient with it. Even when the accounts will blow, be patient, blow it in peace. Understand? If you are risking 0.5%, keep risking that 0.5%, just like me. Keep risking it until you should also know that Forex doesn't reward us with the quantity of trades we take, but the quality of the trades we take. So it's not a must that you take every trade. You understand? Even when you get an A+ setup and you keep losing, do not over risk it. Be patient with the account. You understand? So if the account go, let it go in peace. At least you know you tried your best and your best wasn't enough, and be mentally ready for this. With that being said, I think I took a lot of time trying to explain this. I want to show you the trade plans that I already have for this coming week, for this this PropFirm account that I'm trading right now, the one that I just explained to you, or what's happened with me. Yeah, I'm going to show you some of my setup, and yeah, let's just hope that next week it's profitable. Can pass the PropFirm in 2 days. You're gonna learn, and you're gonna learn the hard way. Gold is the only pair that I want to trade this year ending. Yeah, it's the only trade I want to the only pair I want to trade this month ending, and I'm currently very bearish on gold, and this is why. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, because the month just end, and I'm that kind of trader. Anytime month ends, I always start my analysis from the monthly. Now, looking at this monthly time frame, you can see that gold is strongly bullish. The previous month was strongly bullish. Then we have this month, October, that just ended. We can see that it was bullish. It was bullish at some point before sellers came into this market and gave us a bearish pin bar, but that's not what I'm concentrated on. Now, what I want you to push attention to is this fair value gap on this candle. You see this fair value gap here. Now, this fair value gap, sometime in future, I expect market to at least pull into this fair value gap before it starts, before any other big move will come into this market. So have this fair value gap in mind. That is for the monthly time frame. Now let's go down the weekly time frame and see if we have anything on the weekly time frame. Now on this weekly time frame, I don't trade weekly time frame, and this is what I do on the weekly time frame. I just read previous week candles. What you can see here is that for the past 2 weeks before this current week candle, you can see that gold is strongly on a bearish candle as we close 2 weeks in bearish candle. As you can see, the week that just closed has a long wick beneath it, telling you that both buyers and sellers are interested in this market. Now, because I don't trade the weekly time frame, what I do is I mark out the high of the previous week candle like this. I mark out the highest point of the previous week candle. I highlight the candle to pink so that I don't differentiate it when I see it on a lower time frame. I mark out the highs and low. Now the logic behind the reason why I mark out this lows and high is quite very simple. If this market is going to continue bearish, then it has to it will break this last week low and continue its downtrend. And if it's going to reverse, or if it's going to turn bullish for the week, then it has to break previous week higher points. You understand? So that's just the reason why I mark out this on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame. Now down on the daily time frame, let's see if we do have anything on the daily time frame. I use daily time frame to mark my trends. Now when you look at this daily time frame, you can see that this market has switched from bullish to bearish, and that's one of the reasons why I say I'm no longer bullish, or I'm bearish on gold. Now this is it. let's read the structure first of all. You know that this market is strongly bullish. So we came here, we formed a low. We came here, we formed a high on the daily time frame. We came here, we formed a low. Then we had a high here. You see, after we printed this high, then we saw selling pressure came into this market, and this selling pressure took out this valid low, breaking straight to this low, validating a shift in trend. That is, this market is currently on a bearish trend. With this break that's happened here, it means that sellers have taken over this market. Now we mark that low like this, that low, we mark it like this. I'm going to change the color to ash. Right now on the daily time frame, there is absence of imbalance starting from this particular place. There's absence of imbalance on this daily time frame, so I don't see any place that I can possibly mark out on this daily time frame to hope for market to come back to before I start selling to the monthly fair value gap. You understand? So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame and see if we have anything on the 4-hour time frame. Now, I already have my plans to sell this market. I'm just trying to break it down. Now, if you look on this 4-hour time frame, you can see clearly that you see that break right here. The reason why I didn't mark out this low, it's not because it didn't show on the daily time frame. It's because this low didn't sprint a new high. You understand? So this low is not a valid low. If you watch my previous video, you will understand this better. So you see, this is the only low that featured a higher high. You understand? Now on this 4-hour time frame, I'll look for something that look like my system before I execute any trade. I'm a supply and demand trader, so I sell from supply and buy from demand. Now, as you can see clearly here, we have some presence of supply zone right here that has already been mitigated. You understand in a way this supply zone right here, market didn't just mitigate this, it also wiped it out. That is, if there were any sellers from that trade my kind of concept, market would have wiped them out here and still went their direction. And you understand in a man, this is the only valid supply zone right here, because this is the only valid supply zone that has the presence of imbalance, that is fair value gap that some of you call it. The gap from this red candle to this green candle, you see that imbalance. You see, this was the only imbalance we had here. Every other place, right, like other places, you see we didn't have any imbalance. Right now that market has tapped into the supply zone, what do we do next? Now let's go down lower 2-hour time frame to see markets in details. Now on this 2-hour time frame, I'm going to mark out that 4-hour supply zone correctly. If you notice, we have some other supply zones on this 2-hour time frame, like this place. Now you must be wondering why I didn't choose this other supply zone instead. Now the reason is very, very simple. Because this market broke into a new low, because this market took out this low, which was the valid swing low that I told you on the higher time frame. Because this market took out this low, my main focus was on the supply zone that built up the strength that broke this place. You understand? This place is a valid supply zone, but it's not strong enough, because you see at some point here, buyers interrupted the movement of this place, and yeah, we had some kind of dancing before another momentum was built, and yeah, we saw that break. So my main focus was on the supply zone that brought about the break of the structure. So without being explained, let me continue. Right now that market has mitigated, let me delete this. Right now that market has mitigated this my supply zone right here. I'll be shorting this market when one of these levels get broken. When this one, either this one breaks, or the weekly, this pink one below here. Now the reason why I will be shorting this market if you break this place is this. Let's read this market structure with me so you do understand why I will be choosing that place as my place. Now look at this place now. Starting from this particular place, yeah, this is a substructure trend. Starting from this particular place, you see that markets came here from the low, came here from the high, we came here, we formed a low, came here from the high, came here, we formed another low. So telling you that this market on this 2-hour time frame had this substructure, that is internal structure downtrend. After we printed this low, market shifted into a temporal bullish trend. So after the shift, we have a swing low, then a new high. We don't want to be biased in this market because yeah, we know that in a long run this market is on a bullish trend, and we don't want to sell either with a structure like this because this structure interests buyers. You understand? This shows that buyers are somehow in this market, and we don't want to sell this market when the structure is bullish. We want to sell this market when the structure is bearish. So what are we waiting for right now at this point is a shift from this minor bullish back to bearish. Then that is when we start selling. I want a market that will come back and break this low, because this is the only valid low, and this is the only current swing high that we have here. So I'll be waiting for a structure like this, a shift like this, then I'll look for a supply zone again to sell from, and my target will be I'll keep selling until market fills this monthly fair value gap. Then if market shifts structure again to the bullish side, then we'll start trading. So that is it on gold, and that is how I'm planning to trade gold this week. Now listen, do not be in a hurry to trade this market, gold, any market at all. You see this, it's my this thing I just explained to you right now might take like 1 week or like the whole week for this setup to align. But be patient for it. You understand? Be patient for it. We are going to eat big in this. So if you're a forex trader and you're a supply and demand trader, you can use this kind of setup. Let me know what you guys think about this my setup in the comment section. And yeah, do not forget to like and subscribe to this video. It's your boys. Make see you guys next time, boys.